Now, this event is something that I haven't anticipated in years. As you know, Quantum has been running for almost 8 years now, going on 8 this September. And this is something that many of us who founded quantum science did not really believe was possible for us. We have to understand that quantum started off as amateurs who knew nothing. If anything, we were just dedicated people who played Pinewood Computer Core almost every day. So for us, so many years later, to be at the point we are, it's truly something astonishing and something very humbling in a way. We use the past and everything that has happened in the past, whether it be negative or positive, to really just help us keep on going forward. Sorry, we just teleport someone in. Okay. And so I just want to quickly thank you all for being with us and supporting our developers with your purchases. It really means a lot for us to have a loyal community of people who like our things and stick around for the ride. So this event will be we'll try to keep it short. We don't want to chew too much into your Saturday. So, as the event scheduler did detail, this event will more or less try to be an hour long. We will mostly just go over Q&A and some other stuff that I feel pertains to you guys, especially in such a large event. And that, yes, that will cover Sika National Laboratory, or SNL for short, as well as two other side projects that we are working on in the background. Just because project diversity does help in a way with burnout. I personally feel that being able to rotate between different projects helps me maintain my level of creativity and motivation. But nonetheless, I'd like to give the opportunity for any and other administrators who would like to say anything. They can feel free to step up and say anything at this time. Yes, go first, Umbrex.
Uh, can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you fine.
All right. You know, the funny thing is that I actually wrote something down on what I wanted to say, but I'm not gonna go on that. And this might get a little boring, so bear with me. I know we're here to celebrate the 300,000 member count for the quantum science group, and I probably should have made a speech related to that. But I wanted to take this moment to talk about something more. Youth. I just turned 20 today, and yet I feel 20. I feel like I'm a 16-year-old. I don't feel mature. When I was growing up, I made very few friends and did barely anything with them. Instead, I played video games both at home and in school, because I was just like that. I didn't have anything else to do. I had no hobbies, no sports, nothing else I was interested in. I decided to be an antisocial simply because I thought gaming was more enjoyable than spending time with people. I made a mistake by doing that. I'm making my way into adulthood with no clue as to what I'm going to do, if I'm going to go to college, and if I have any plans for my life. It's not an uncommon thing for people my age to not know what they're going to do, but usually people have a kickstart. They have a hobby, they have a sport, they got something to do already. I'm asking for you guys to find an interest somewhere outside the internet. I mean, sure, you can still do coding and building and other stuff, but you can't just do gaming. You have to have something to do. I'm working at a trampoline park for $11 an hour. Not for the money, just because I want to do something or I want to be productive with my life. I'm not forcing you guys to do anything you don't want to, but please listen when I ask that you have to try to find something you're interested in, that you can continue on in your adulthood. That's really all I've got to say. I just wanted to get that off my shoulders. And, um, yeah, 300 members, 300,000 members, so, keep doing what you guys are doing, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Umbrex. That was very well said. I mean, the message was resounding. If anyone would like to go next, it can go so at this time. And going up next is our amazing director, Dark.
What the hell? I'm not amazing. Anyways, Hi. Um, hmm. Just so you know, I don't have a fucking script. I'm going off of my head because I'm too lazy. So,
Mood.
um, shut up! Okay, anyways, 300,000 members! Wow! Look at. Anyways, so I remember when I was I was like what a fucking employee here, and I was like fuck yeah, I was like here for the 10K members thing, and I was like, hey, yo, this is sick. And then like not even like a month or two later, we hit like 100,000, and I'm like, whoa, shit, sick. And I'm like, Zam! And now we're here, 300,000. Zam! Sick! What the hell? It's so fucking cool, man. Oh my god. Anyway, so I want to say I'm proud with how this group has come to and like the progress we've done. And really, I'm excited to see this future or this fucking future, bro. Well, yeah, I'm excited to see this group's future like expand more into SNL and all these beautiful things and all these wonderful things. Like good things are to come soon, and this is just one of the milestones. Exciting. Um, and also, make sure to spam Umbrex. It's his birthday today. And also, congratulations to the new SEC
Everybody.
admins and all these fun things, and also our very new supervisors that came in not too long ago. And I hope that your journey here is as fun as it can be, because surely my journey here, I've been here for 2 fucking years, too fucking long, but like, fucking hell, it's been a wild ride, and I hope yours is wild as mine. Just kidding, actually, no, I hope it's fine. But yeah, I'm really happy and just have fun. Um, remember, don't don't be stupid. Like Era stupid, so is Alex. And and just live your life to the fullest and don't rely on video games, just like Umbrex said. Be a good kid. Be smart and love one another. Talk to people. If you ever need to talk to somebody, I'm here, or anybody really. Anybody that you trust. And also remember there's a vent channel here too if you need to talk your thoughts out. So yeah, that that's really it. Um, yeah. Happy birthday, Umbrex. Yeah, yeah, bye. Okay.
Happy birthday, Umbrex. And thank you for that, Dark. That was a great speech. If anyone else would like to go on, they can feel free to do so. Tree.
Yes.
Oh, GM. Tree, you want to let GM go first?
Oh yeah, sure. Gian, you can go first. No, no,
Tree,
no.
GM,
You can.
GM, just go first. Go first.
You can go first.
All right. My mic might echo because my only working headset is in pieces and not working.
You sound good.
Anyways, it's crazy to think here because I have a pretty long history with QS and it's a lot more chaotic than most people. I forget when I first heard about quantum science. I think it might have been back in 2013, not that far back. Maybe maybe that far back. It's hard to remember, really. My memory's not all that great. What I do know is way back then, before I had even started trying to develop, Wild had released QSML 1, which at the time was V5. And it was amazing. Even when I first played it, there wasn't a reactor, but I still found it amazing to see all these huge environments replicating, the style of Aperture. And it was really the only time I had seen that done on Roblox. From then, years later, I had started my own little group called Unnamed Enterprises. It's gone now, long gone, which is good because its name sucked and its game sucked. But anyways, that group though had ended up being one of the most it definitely really started my foray into the sci-fi community because Well, it's a sorry, I don't have any kind of script, so. Anyways, that group, though, I remember I had a Discord server for it, and from there, I guess for some reason, I may have ended up being one of the first sci-fi Discord servers. So later on, people who own groups way bigger than mine had joined, and it had become almost a little hub. And I was honestly amazed to see it grow. And of course, eventually, I had made contact with Wild and Quantum Science. Later on, I'm going to skip through all the details, but essentially, a person who was a friend at my time had become an executive in quantum science. He took V5 and leaked it to a bunch of friends, and and I decided to side with them because I don't know. I honestly still don't know why I did. I should have ditched him, but anyways, that led to Unnamed Enterprises being at war with QS for a while. Then years later, and I think it's about 2018, 4 years ago, I had managed to get hired by Quantum Science, and I was surprised. I was allowed into QS, not only allowed into QS, but allowed as a very high-ranking administrator. And here I am, 4 years later, still up in the high ranks. And honestly, I've enjoyed my time in quantum science immensely. It's been a real joy to me to work for the group and see it evolve, and it's amazing to see how far it's gotten. I think that's about it for. All right.
All right, thank you, GM. That was very well said. Tree, if you'd like to go up now, you can go. You feel free.
Okay, hang on. Yeah, it's the clogging man here. Okay, so as a developer of quantum science here, I know I haven't been like active in like QSB for a while, so I'm sorry if I was inactive. The only reason is that I have like a lot of issue in real life, and there's like too much for me to think about when it comes to growing up by now, being an adult or something like that. It's a lot of things. It's too much to handle, and like overburden and a lot of works to do and like that. And eventually, I barely even have myself fun most of the time or something like that. Hence why I mostly get inactive a lot. So, but now, so as you can see, I passed my exam and I done all the works I got, and I actually find it free. So I had like a lot of time for me to do some stuff. For me, yes, I actually really appreciate staying in this community here. I see all these people here. Yes, I'd like to thank you all here for staying here as part of the community. Uh, um, yeah, I sorry if I can't speak properly because I'm really sick right now, and it's been 5 days and I haven't been recovered. But I'll try my best to be better. There's not much I can say. So all I can say is that thank you. It's 3,000 300 shit 300,000 members. That's amazing. Like quantum science. That's the big number right there. Wait, hang on.
All right, thank you, Tree. That was
Yeah.
very
Okay.
nice and well
Yeah.
said.
That's a 300. Yeah.
Well, I hope you get better from whatever nasty bug that's inside of you. But
Yeah.
thank you,
Don't
Tree.
worry. Yeah, all right. That's all I can say. Thank you all, and as well, happy birthday, Umbrex. You're not getting away with this. It's the happy birthday. All right, that's all I can say. That's pretty cool.
All right. Would anyone else like to go up at this time? Otherwise, we will move on.
Dead.
I am going to allow one guest speaker from the VIP section. That is our longtime Edmund Hall famer, Elsa Frostieri, otherwise known as Dr. Helene Kaiser. Please welcome her to the stage.
Wow, okay. Can everyone hear me?
Yep, can hear you fine.
Alright, let me just walk up on stage here. Sorry, trying very hard not to lose my mind from excitement here. This is just wow. I never in a million years thought I would be up here again. It's not full central administration, but it's administration nonetheless. And on the 300,000 member celebration day, too. I have no words. Thank you, all of you, from the bottom of my heart. I am honored, truly, to have been part of this community for so long, and
Oh wait, he's.
here's to the next 300,000 members! Dark, your speech was amazing. Wild, yours too, and everyone's. Really. I'm sorry, I must sound like such a fangirl. I'm doing my best to stay professional here, but I just, internally, I'm just. So, thank you, all of you. I am truly proud to have been part of this community for so long. I know I said that already. I literally woke up and 2 minutes later, I'm getting pinged in like 30 places because my application got accepted, and I just died. It is an honor to have been here for so long and to, well, be granted the. My words will not word. Yeah. Each failed on MP3. Just thank you, all of you. I'll get off the stage now.
All right, thank you, Elsa. I would think well, I think we should be moving on now. It is 2:34 right now, and we're 4 minutes behind schedule. Anyways, I will start wrapping this up with moving on to our next segment. Just oops. Okay, damn it, QF says having a moment. Give me a minute. Okay, sorry about that. Anyways, so we will start moving or transitioning into the Q&A section. However, before we do transition, I just have a quick thing I want to say. To add on to what everyone here has been saying, I personally want to thank you myself from the bottom of my heart. I mean, I've been doing this for almost 8 years now. When I first started quantum science, I was only about 11 years old, way back when in 2013, and it was supposed to be just a fun adventure that I never thought I never could have imagined would have gone to this magnitude. You know, if you were to ask me a few years ago if something like QSurf would have come to fruition, I would have laughed at you. I never would have thought that quantum would be capable of such great things, and, much less be on its way to becoming the second largest group of its kind. I used to look up. Sorry about that. I used to look up at innovation in Pinewood as these untouchable monoliths, and so many years later, here we are at the forefront of beating Pinewood at the very least. Which no hard feelings with them or anything. I think Pinewood is an amazing group that with a lot of rich history, and personally, I have a lot of nostalgia just because I came up in Pinewood. So, cheers to them and Pinewood shout out. Yeah, Pinewood shout out. They're a great group. So, anyways, it it was up until 2019 when we first started actually doing something as a group. This is when we actually started to make a game that could actually be played by people, not just blow up the DMR and leave. And so QSurf was really just that first opportunity to expose our community base to just what kind of things we are capable of making. You know, even initially, QSurf was not supposed to be as big as it was. It was only supposed to serve as a showcase, as something that was made out of passion. You know, back in the day, Igzev and I, Igzev is a former developer here. We both had a deep admiration for Portal 2 and the mods surrounding them. So we had always wanted as little kids to recreate that sort of aesthetic, and we did with QSurf. So even then, we would have never imagined that QSurf would have gone as big as it has. I mean, the highest player count I think QSurf has ever had was around 550 back in June 2020. And even then, we were very close to hitting that back a few months ago with just Phase 2 and especially all the optimizations that Terry has been making. And, it feels I'm very grateful to have a team of very awesome people. You know, the directorate is very awesome. I work with very awesome people who are just, there's just nobody better than them, especially my council members. Kajam is my oldest council member, being with us for almost 5 years now. And so, I'm just very appreciative to have the people that I work with, even in the administration and the supervisory and SST. So I'm personally very excited to see what this group has going forward. I never really thought I'd be doing this for so long, but it's a great hobby. It's a great way to outlet that creativity. I do think GM has a very good valid point when it comes to gaming, but I personally feel that this group has really helped me realize what I want to do post Roblox. I personally want to seek entrepreneurship in the private energy industry or public, if that's my route I have to take. So I guess I do want to harp on the point of just find your way. Find your way and do something that you like, and don't just throw away your life. Just because you aren't special now doesn't mean that you can't be special later on. So again, I just want to thank you all for really making this community what it is. Without you guys, we wouldn't have this community. We wouldn't have what we have built today. So, I'm very much looking forward to the future, and with that, I can perfectly segue into Second National Laboratory and other games that we have in the making. So, as I mentioned earlier, we do have about 4 active projects at the moment. 3 of them are currently side projects, and one has been deemed our flagship project. With that being said, I will talk about each and every single one of them. I will be starting off with the Sika National Laboratory, which last month we codified as our new official flagship. So we are currently working as hard as we can on the game. Right now, we are hiring 3 developers actually, and we are waiting to the end of the application period to bring them in and induct them into our team so we can get working on SNL as fast as possible. SNL, we seek to be the absolute best possible thing that you can hope to imagine to see in this community. It is supposed to be the conglomeration of everything we failed to do with QSurf. It is supposed to be something that we took the failures of QSurf and make it actually work in SNL. So it's a very ambitious project. It's gonna take a lot of time. It's gonna need a lot of experienced and knowledgeable hands, but we are very hopeful and very confident that SNL will be a product that will be worth the wait, one, and two, will be something that will forever change the landscape of this community. So, next, I want to talk about our other 3 side projects, beginning first with QSurf. QSurf, as you know, we are no longer prioritizing, but we are still actively working on it to just get it in a more stable state. not just more stable, but also more optimized. If you guys attended our optimization run yesterday, or not, sorry, not our optimization run, our public test build run yesterday, you guys may have seen that the game runs a bit smoother and also has the Foxtrot 9 reactor, which, yes, I did tweak post that testing. I just wasn't sure of the numbers I wanted to use then and there. So, QSurf, we are hoping for our latest patch to be released today, as a matter of fact, to be part of the after party celebration for this monumental, milestone that we've reached. So, so then I want to talk about two other games, namely being one, the McCarthy Nuclear Generation Station, and number two being a new game that I am pleased to announce, the Donovan Hydroelectric Dam and Desalinization Plant. So these two side projects are going to be done just mostly on the side as means to prevent burnout. The McCarthy Nuclear Generation Station will be taking place in 1969 and is a boiling water reactor, Generation 3. I should mention, sorry, let me mention the specifics. It is a General Electric Generation 3 boiling water reactor, and is actually supposed to have two of those reactors in the game, at least in the completed version. So MNGS will take place in the summer of 1969 around Louisville, Louisiana. Or sorry if I got the whole geography wrong, but it's supposed to take place in Louisiana. With our knowledge that we have obtained from, Just Terry's optimizations and also from the Foxtrot reactor itself, we do feel that our ambitions to create an actually realistic nuclear fission reactor is much more feasible now, especially now that we have more knowledge and expertise when it comes to game development. So we will be trying to look into that as time progresses. And so now the second side project that I am very pleased to talk about is the Donovan Hydroelectric Plant. We'll call that for short. So this dam is mostly inspired off of my recent trip with Reaper to the Hoover Dam. We recently, back in, what was it, May? May?
Late May.
In late May, we went to the Hoover Dam and we got a power plant tour. And so just seeing how much of an engineering marvel it was, it inspired inspired me to launch a side project to create a sort of our own unique kind of dam. Yeah, officially we call it the Quandam Dingle. So have that. um, but yes, so that's also being worked on the side. The game is supposed to take place in the early 2010s. It will have slight renovations from the new administration lore-wise, but will still have many of its analog components because the dam was originally supposed to be built in lore in the late 1970s. So, anyways, I am hoping that you guys, with those new revelations, are excited for what the future holds. I'm personally very excited for what the future holds when it comes to our games. It's going to really add a layer of depth to those kind of community members who really like intricate, oversized machinery, and especially operating said intricate machinery. So that is one thing I want you all to look forward to. Anyways, I am running 15 minutes late, but we'll just go with it anyways because, frankly, why the hell not? We're having a good time, right? So I'd like to move forward into the Q&A section of this event. So any questions that you guys may have, I'd like you to direct them to USP General. We will be trying to answer as many questions as we can, just for the sake of just trying to make sure we're all in the same place here. But I am expecting chaotic, unorganized hell
Go
to
ahead
break
and cut
loose.
this one off at the pass. No, we don't know when the next security tryout is. No, QSO is not going public. No, you cannot be security without going through a tryout.
Wild.
I'm gonna cut
make
another
a
one
thread.
off at the pass here. No, Epsilon 8 does not officially exist. Anyone who thinks otherwise is clearly
First,
misinformed.
let me actually make a thread. Hold on.
You're welcome.
Sci-fi group stuff. by Scott. That's an interesting
I
question.
want to. I mean, we're open to it. I mean, our biggest thing is that we just try to we try to stay mostly on our own, just because we know that relationships with other groups haven't been the best. You know, it is our we try to stay in it with an official stance of neutrality, just to not upset or infatuate other groups.
Our
So
neutrality agreement is like Switzerland. If you ask us for weapons, we will provide them. At the right price, anyways.
But I mean, if an actual intergroup effort could be started for
There's-
SNL, I would probably not be opposed to it.
Yes, we're going to add an Arctic Blast machine to SNL. Not like the Arctic Blast, the event. It's just the slush machine. So you'll be able to get them there.
Okay, so I will keep going down the list. What made you
Bro,
chose
whoever
area
just
of
said freeze
Sitka
down needs to
for
die,
National
bro.
Laboratory? So the reason why we chose the name Sitka was just because that's the name of the region, Sitka, Alaska. It is an island off the conterminous United States, and so I felt that would be the perfect place for us to situate the Sitka National Laboratory. Let's see. Someone asked that they had an interview with me 5 years ago in my personal office in QSMLV 5. I don't remember that. I'm sorry. I don't remember many things. What can we expect from SNL in terms of gameplay? I do want to say it is SST prerogative that we do keep information regarding SNL. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. That information regarding SNL stays private, mostly just because we want you guys to be hyped of what we have in store, for lack of a better phrase. And so I feel we will obviously over time, as the course throughout the course of SNL development, give you guys insight to what SNL has to offer, but we feel that it is in our best interest to just give you guys pieces of information as time goes on. Let's see.
For lack of a better comparison, it's like how Pinewood always keeps their infamous third code secret. The mystery surrounding it is what keeps players coming back.
To answer Brett and Joyer's question regarding the desalinization component of the plan, it will be. I am thinking it will be reverse osmosis. To answer Udem's question, general suggestions, likely not. I mean, I feel we can just use, the Qcon suggestions channel. To answer Red Sento's question for NVGs, I think they are in the pipeline. SNL release, I cannot tell you when. We are projecting 2 years. Let's see. Someone asked if the dam can explode. We'll see what we can do, but I would love to have a breach incident for it. Epsilon 8, I will not answer that.
The dam will violently explode in a big nuclear explosion if it reaches 200 psi.
Let's see.
The dam is coated with enriched uranium 235. So certain pressure it becomes critical.
So I will to answer some of the question, answer Natcore's question for SNL. Yes, NPCs will be going to SNL, and actually they will be much more intricate than you see them in than you see them in QSurf. Let's see. SNL, to answer Loveless Duck's question, SNL is supposed to be the final project still. I liked, but now there is the incentive of sticking around just to make sure we finish everything that's in our pipeline.
To answer Zenlock Gumi's question, does the MNGS explode in lore? Technically, yes, but also technically no. One of the units has a partial meltdown. The other one is saved by, of all people, Kaiser and her skilled tactics. If you want to know more about the lore, Wild is the master of lore stuff.
So, Dimensional Fusion asks if we got the name of the hydroelectric dam from some attorney general. I want to say no. That name has been chosen from someone internally. Let's see. SNL will have digital controls. There will be no physical controls in the control room. Lore question: are there any rival companies, corporation? That's not really a subject that I've thought much about. So I'm gonna abstain on the question because I don't know. Let's see. Okay, for this question, it is from It's Noah. Will QQC remain as testing staff for the new side projects or main projects? Yes. Let's see. Will the SNL reactor be something other than DMR or a new generation of DMR from DUID 80? It will be the DMR2. SNL will have the DMR2.
For
Buddha
the
brought up an
DMR3,
interesting question here. Will we ever make another lore document?
I don't know. It likely have to be someone else to write it because I do not have the time personally to do that myself.
Oh, pick me!
Will
Sure.
Quandale Dingle have a turbine explosion? I think that probably that'd be easier than a dam breach. So
This question is from Entity. Remember if I tell you what asked me about what is your financial leadership? No, I will not. I do not remember that interview even happening. Sorry. This question is towards you, GM. It's was the Foxtrot reactor shit's moving. It was the Foxtrot reactor little panel thing inspired / copied from your Tau Inc. Experimental Design Center.
I don't think so. I don't know. Wild's the one who made it.
Yeah, so I will tell you no. But I do like that. I do love his Experimental Design Center. You know, all of GM's stuff is really
I need
cool
to
and
work on
intricate.
that more. I still
Oh,
want.
and I will tell you that GM will be the one to script the reactor in MNGS, so that's
Yes,
another thing to
Pray
keep.
for me. Pray for me.
Pray for him. Yeah, he has quite a mission in front of him. To
Oh.
answer, let's see.
Wait,
To
I
answer
have a
Answer,
question.
answer Awu
sorry,
Dev's
Wild.
question, will the dam have in-front inspired themes? I don't see why not. You know, it does take place during the 70s. I'm sure I can maybe have some similarities to that of the Hammer Valley Dam. Well, this question is from It's Just Trace. Will electrons in certain game passes transfer over to SNL? As much as everyone might say it's a stupid question, I feel it is imperative for us to clarify this. No, nothing from QSurf will transfer over to SNL.
Yeah.
Nothing. Okay, but still, I want to clarify it now. No, we're not. Anything will not be transferable to SNL. We have to make our revenue somehow, and transferring game passes over to tell you guys the truth would go against our business interests. So there you go. Have your transparency. Do as you want. We're just being honest. Let's see.
To answer the question of why don't we talk about Epsilon 8, we don't talk about Epsilon 8!
Okay,
We have our
this
reasons.
question is from Just Tucky. Will SNL have Raiders? Yes, but they will be different. I will not explain how.
They will be artists.
So, and this question's from the True Master. Well, we'll be able to find Weldman and SNL. Weldman, for some context, is the Deputy Director of Reactor Operations in QSurf and is the announcer for the night shift. So I do want to say that, yes, he is making a comeback for SNL. Let's see.
Any further Epsilon 8 questions will be ignored. I already told you guys we have our reasons for not talking about it.
Okay, this question's from Level Stuck. If we're doing any crossover with any IP, I mean, I can't think of anything. I'm sorry. Let's see. Also, freaking Roblox. I mean, yeah, it'll be free to play, but it'll be like QSurf and have its own form of monetization. None of our games will ever be. We will never try to over monetize any of our games. I personally feel it's morally bad, for lack of a better word, and I don't personally believe in greed. So, yeah, so our games will always be free to play. However, I do want to say that MNGS and the Donovan Dam will be private to the group only, and will see strict QSO interference. They will actually, guide players to actually run the facilities as they're meant to be ran. But of course, there will be VIP servers for people who, just want to try things on their own. They always provide that alternative.
Speaking of QSurf, two questions relating to it here that are rather interesting. One person's asking what the entire QSurf OST is. I myself actually do not know the answer to that.
It's from different sources, but I will tell you
think
the meltdown is Project Borealis. The startup is Power by Warren Bennett, I think.
Which was literally some random song I nabbed off the library because I really hated the original startup
Yeah.
soundtrack.
Yeah,
And then
he
everyone
said
said,
it sounded
how did
like
they find such a good track?
yeah, GM hated the original one because he thought it sounded like a superhero movie.
No, it was
Indeed.
you literally called it the bootleg the bootleg Avengers theme.
Did I?
It's like the Avengers theme, but annoying. It was
The
garbage.
other
Fair enough.
interesting QSIF-related question is, someone asked who voiced the lines in the aftermath of the meltdown, and what is the name of the protocol for the nuke? The protocol for the nuke is Protocol Salatum, and as for who voiced the lines, that would depend entirely on which ending you got, as each ending has different characters and therefore different voice actors. Speaking of questions, Awu Dev had an interesting question. Something about the quantum science wiki, I believe it was. Wow, that was directed to you, so I'll let you take that.
I will say that we do not have an official wiki. We will never condone an official wiki. This is not our interest. We do not care about it. And personally, I feel it is just a place for people to just spread their malicious intentions. So I personally do not support having a wiki. QS will not officially condone one either. Someone else asked a question. Portal was taken. Will SNL have the apartments that were leaked in the old version of JNL? Yes, but they will be, different and newer. Any advice for future core developers in there? I'd say the biggest one is don't go over detailed. You don't need to have like insane amounts of detail. SNL and QSurf have staggeringly different levels of detail. SNL
And
is
I'd just like to interject on this one. I'd say try and vary up the gameplay because Jesus Christ, modern core games feel so boring nowadays. Maybe try at this point, I think even just adding another stat to it can make it feel more interesting.
another thing I'd say, use your creativity. Don't just recreate whatever already exists. It's not going to work. This is why QSurf is popular because it was a new creation that wasn't based on
Indeed.
Pinewood
When
or
Pinewood was the
innovation.
thing back in the day, everyone started making glowy ball reactors, and then when QSurf came out, everyone started making DMR style reactors. Come on, people,
Yep.
change it up a little. Be creative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's actually funny. We led that revolution, so this is where that type of reactor comes from, baby.
Yeah, because when you're popular,
what the
because
hell?
they say imitation is the finest form of flattery, so.
All right, just one more thing. No more balls. No more balls.
Three
If I
can-
see another balls, I will be sick. Yep, there we go.
Tree, bro. Treats you at any given moment.
If I see a reactor that looks like a big pair of balls, I'm going to be so goddamn mad.
Yeah.
Someone asked a question. Well, shit, I lost my place.
I can't. I put my balls in the soda dispenser.
Will SNL and MNGS have a turbine trip in the future? MNGS and the Donovan Dam will have turbine trips as well as full load rejection. And also, I should mention the Foxtrot reactor in the future, once it gets its maintenance features, will be able to experience a full load rejection as well. Let's see, next
All
question.
you China Syndrome fans finally get your due.
Will
welcome.
Raiders be an SNL? I already answered that question.
I
Yes,
was about
but I
to say the
won't
China
talk much
syndrome
about
is
it.
a PDWR, but it's actually inconsistent. So
Will SNL have the power grid functions? Yes, but you cannot you cannot trip the grid for the facility. It will only just disconnect to the national grid. That's at least what we have planned right now. Let's see. Quick Services are corporate members who give exclusive items in games. Are these plans to come with SNL? I don't know honestly. I would like to say yes in the future, but we would need a reminder if we forget in the future. Would the DMR V2 be modeled off the DMR from QSurf? Will be modeled off the QSML3 DMR. I will tell you, we're recycling the DMR chamber from JNL, just because it looks really nice. I mean, come on, we should reuse it, so we are.
Someone's asking if SNL will have VR support.
I don't see why not.
it'd probably be easier to implement since you won't have to weird our way around the old code.
Let's see, will it be QSO and SNL? Yes, of course. Let's see. Trying to look at the actually relevant questions.
QSurf does have VR, but it's kind of buggy due to QSurf's like ancient old Lovecraftian horror code.
This question is from Brunek. Will SNL have a warhead? No, it will have something different. I'm not telling you guys what it is yet.
Another question from AWDev here. Will SNL have several endings like one of the few sometimes you still lose in the various other ones?
Yes. Yes, it will. SNL will, of course, have other unique endings for its own game.
Speaking of QSurf, a question from Dimensional Fusion. Why were the old, funnier announcements removed from QSurf?
We felt they
Oh
they
god,
really
is it the
they really detracted from the seriousness of the game. So
R.I.P. for a moment.
is it the Eggman part?
They were too much, basically.
they were
You
too
know
much.
what's
They were
funny?
too excessive.
That announcement I did, Bravo Sector B, for some reason, there are so many random games that use it as well. Like games that don't even have the other old QSurf announcements, and I just wonder how the hell that happened.
Because memes.
Anyways, someone asked the question, will the Donovan Dam get any developer sneak peeks like SNL has had? Yes, however, since this is not SNL, MNGS and the Donovan Dam will just get sneak peeks as they go. These two projects will not be as secretive. Let's see.
Will SNL keep the whole huge underground facility vibe or a newer research facility vibe?
Newer research facility vibe. It'll be a modern, research facility. You have to understand that SNL takes place in 2042, and also the facility itself was built in 2012.
And I think it's probably good to mention that's not based on Aperture.
It's also not based on Black Mesa either. This is
Yeah.
actually our own unique design. We're actually trying something that is unique in our own way.
I mainly specified Aperture because that's what we're kind of known for at this point. That's why everyone's gonna think of it first.
Yeah.
For SNL, will there be Raider game passes just like QSurf, or will we just have the basic pass and that's it?
At this time, I can't say anything in regards to that, just because I don't know. We haven't thoroughly planned out just to the extent of monetization that we want to go for the game. Will SNL have better lighting? Yes, it does use Future is Bright Phase 3. So it does use the lighting shadows and also sun shadows.
Ugly.
It looks actually really nice too.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
Will Raider Brands transfer over to SNL? Yes.
Val's already got that.
I caught up with the thread, so I'll be answering questions. Material service for SNL. Yes, it does use the new. It does use the 2022 materials.
I think he meant material service, like adding in more material.
Oh yes, we will definitely be taking advantage of that. Someone asked, will the Hadron Collider exist in SNL? No, but I can tell you there will be a lot. SNL will be a diverse game. For what we already have planned for it, it will have many different things for players to do, aside from just the DMR. If anything, we hope to make the DMR not the focal, point of the facility. It is, currently how we have the game designed off to the corner.
Only one stud wide.
Will the security of QSurf also be security in SNL? That question was answered already. Yes, Queso will be in SNL.
On the subject
Sorry,
of endings,
QSO.
I already answered that question, Derps. There are new endings. Oh wait, this is different. On the subject of endings, are there new endings planned for QSurf or changes to pre-existing endings? I do want to say no. I want to say all the endings that occur right now are final. I don't think QSurf will get any new endings. The game mostly right now is in its final stages of development. Let's see. Well, use the same keycard system as QSurf. Yes and no. The doors will be more advanced, and the keycards will look a lot better. Is there a reason for the drinks? No, that's not important. You guys say the game will be an original idea. So the music, I don't know. We don't have any, dedicated music composers. Composing music is a very difficult task, and so if we can just find music that we can use, that's something that we take full advantage of, as well as sounds. Just because
I
we're
might
not.
try again, but no promises. Because last
Yeah.
time I offered to do it, the only song I made was the diagonal elevator music.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a
Won't
friend that.
SNL have the anti-mass spectrometer that was work in progress for a while in QSurf's Charlie Labs? Ooh, that's a
No.
good one.
It won't. It will not. To AWU, not yet. We're not. Hold on. Anyways, so let's see. Will items accused surf events transfer personnel? No, it's not. I will have to answer that every time. No, nothing is transferring over. We need to make money somehow as well. So let's see. Blah 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 blah. Will that tap keycard system that was shown on the old server and developer be used, or will we be using insert keycard? The keycard scanners for SNL, well, basically any game that takes place in 2012 or beyond will use tabbed keycards, so they will be fancier. They won't be like the ones in QSurf.
Referring to the door answer, will sliding doors be manually openable if for whatever reason there is no power?
They will just lock open, but none of our, well, at least for MNGS and sorry, SNL will not have a grid that can trip the power to the facility. You can trip the grid or the connection to the national grid, but you cannot, take the power out of the facility.
And honestly, I think that'll probably be the case for MNGS, since that's how actual nuclear plants tend to work. They just use off-site grid power to power things. So unless there's a loss of off-site power, losing power to the whole facility is pretty hard.
Let's see, is Diagonal spun by repercussions? Yes. I think that'd be obvious by now. Will SSC be hiring composers in the future? I mean, if sure, I don't see why not. I'd love to have a dedicated music composer just so we can actually, produce our own tracks. Because GM, as
Oh.
much as he can produce good music, that's not the main thing he prioritizes in. So he doesn't have, all the expensive instrumentation and stuff for what's that app called again that you use?
FL Studio.
Yeah, FL Studio.
Yeah.
And then GS refueling. Well, I don't know.
And an old version as well, because it's pirated, of course. I don't actually have the real one.
Someone asked, what does it take to sync to the grid
Will
using
MNGS and SNL still use the FOSS AI?
I will answer those questions when I get to them. Let me just before.
Alright.
Okay, this one's from Ready. What does it take to sync to the grid using the Foxtrot reactor? That is just you heat up the reactor to around 700 degrees Celsius, and then you should be able to connect it to the grid from there. As the synchronoscope, you should the velocity of, or sorry, the RPM of the converter should be along that of the national grid, which is 60 hertz. Someone asked, can there be more aviation things related to QSurf? Wait for SNL. I'll tell you that. Is MNGS planning to have a refueling event? GM, I'll let you take that question.
I'd imagine so. It probably wouldn't be too hard to do. It'd be dealing with depressurizing the reactor somewhat and opening it up. Of course, you'd have to actually fully shut it down. It's not an RBMK. You cannot do online refueling. You'd have to completely depower it, depressurize it, then detach the lid, lift it off with the crane, then replace the fuel rods there. I'd imagine it's possible, though. It'd probably be easier to script than the actual internal reactor systems.
Okay, to Loveless Duck 48 did clarify with this question. No items. Like I said, nothing is transferring over to SNL. Everything that you have earned in QSurf will just stay in QSurf. Let's see, is SNL core perks? We'll see about that. Since SNL is not completely underground, unlike QSurf, will they do weather or snowfall in SNL? Yes. I can tell you that SNL does plan to have a dynamic weather system, especially now that there's a new clouds feature in Roblox. Will MNGS and SNL use the FAST AI? I can tell you SNL will, MNGS will not, because the FAST system did not exist prior to QSurf or MRC. Will the alarms in any new games be different from QSL2 QSurf alarms? I guess alarms are just alarms. You know, they're not unique or special in any way. The Quantiplex uses old QSurf UI from like 2020. Will the Quantiplex be updated to run off the updated UI system that QSurf uses currently? I want to say no. You know, it's not a big priority. The GUIs still work, so you know what doesn't work, why
To
fix it?
be
Actually,
fair, it
the
doesn't work for me.
settings GUI doesn't appear to work. I
Oh, it
tried
doesn't?
using it when I got in
Yeah,
today,
mine
and
is
it would
working
not
for me.
cooperate.
But,
Oh well, that's what happens, and this is that outdated. Someone
I guess
asked.
the answer just be it might be if the developers think it's worth it and there's not anything else to do that's more important.
So East OMG asks, what are some of the benefits that are planned for the replacement of the Nitro Booster program? We haven't yet finalized those. I had to reach out to Roblox this morning actually to ask along the lines of we can give in-game access through our subscription service. So we are currently just trying to get the clarification from Roblox at the moment. So, but I can tell you that after we get our clarification, we will set up our system however need be. But yes, our what we called it is the SST benefits program. We seek for this to be implemented by August, by probably the end of August, hopefully. Let's see. Can we expect that SNL will preserve ending feature 2? Possibly. I don't know. Like I said, SNL is too early stage right now to really consider
Keep in
those
mind,
kind of
SNL has
in-game
not begun
features.
scripting yet. It is just still being built.
Yeah, it is still being built. The game is still being built. That's why all of our scripters are still working on QSurf at the moment. We'll also now have a chill place, sort of like QSurf's Codex. Yes, but I will not elaborate more. We'll also bring back vehicles. Yes, we will actually make our own customized vehicles chassis system, just so it can be compatible to our needs.
Who will
Um,
voice the FAAS in SNL? That would be the Trainsman, as that is his voice acting.
we aren't actually sure right now if we want the fast system or the CFMS system, which would be voiced by Dark. So we're still, jury's still out on that one. We haven't decided
Clearly, we
yet.
just need all the voice lines to be both of them at once.
I'm gonna try and wrap this up because we are off schedule. So I understand that people may be getting antsy. So I will be finishing up. Last question I will answer will be Razmatsi's question. Let's see. Can you go outside an SNL? Yes. Will QSML one day be remastered? No. Will corporate have benefits in SNL? Yes. If SNL does get raiders, will employees get better tools to defend against raiders? We will code the raiders to have civilians in mind. We will script it in a way that will try to minimize as much civilian casualty as possible, just for the sake of having to minimize the usage of raider bans. So that's one thing. Sky, I'm not sure if this was already asked, but there's already planned for Quantum Players update / revitalization at the moment. No. If any of our future developers that we hire want to do that, or if any of our current developers want to do that, they can feel free. But otherwise, no. If Roblox ever shut down, will QS be moved to Steam? No. If Roblox were to shut down the next 3 years, that's it. That's it, folks. That's all, folks. So
I mean, it's not like Roblox is similar to other game engines. It's a weird platform. It uses Lua, which isn't really used outside of a couple 2D things, and and the building is very different. You can't build in Unity, for example, like you can in Roblox. You can at most maybe place down like cubes and shit, and you can't like build complex things easily. That's also a very different thing with Core, which that one thing that's advertised as a Roblox alternative. That one doesn't have like the building of Roblox, which has led it to kind of having a lot more limited appearances in its games. So it's not like we can just go over and port QSurf to like Source or some shit, especially not Source, because Source has very hard limits.
all right.
Yuri check. Do
last
Tradesman and
week-
Dark will both be voice actors for SNL or just Dark?
Elsa-
That depends
Elsa,
on.
let me handle it.
Sorry.
Sorry. Okay.
Apologies, sir.
Last two questions, just because we should be wrapping this up now. From Blah Timey, will SNL have a centrifuge since Q-Surf removed it? No. And last question from Raz Matzi, will be new clothes for SNL? Yes. There will also in the future be new clothes for the Donovan Dam and also the McCarthy Nuclear Generation Station. Okay, so that will be is it for.
It's from the China syndrome.
So that would be it for the Q&A section of right now. Thank you for those who asked your questions, and I'm sorry to those who unfortunately fell out of our time. So now we'll be moving on to the after celebration portion of this event. However, before we do anything, I need to verify some things with our developer team to ensure that everything is ready.
You said doo-doo.
Duty.
Doo-doo.
Duty shit.
I'm shit-seeing, I'm gonna drown.
Wild, before
The
everyone's
quantum
released, I
science
just wanna know one
development
thing.
team.
GM, can you not talk while I'm talking? Wild. Before everybody goes, just let me know when you're about to dismiss everybody.
Yeah, of course.
Oh no. Well, I'm gonna leave the game because I do not want to get gunned down.
It's
What
time.
do you mean, gun down? What do you mean?
You guys do this every celebration.
What do you
I know what to
mean?
expect.
What do you
We're
mean?
trying to escape.
Ah, hell nah. See ya.
Alright, but yes, as you guys may have imagined, QSO, it is time. Execute Order 66.
Oh, I can hear the gunfire from here, and I'm not even in game.
The real question is, what about engaging the Thatcher?
Bring Margaret Thatcher.
Please do.
Who needs
Ow.
the Thatcher when you have the Kaiser?
Jesus, the game is lagging to shit. I got gunned down.
Boy, am I glad I left.
I wonder how things are working, especially with the player cuts, circling right now, how you said.
Okay, so we are currently in the midst of planning out the release of what we have right now for Q-Serve, so just stand by, please.
I guess I could do this.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Oh, wait, no!
No, it didn't work.
Oh, happened.
Not that